Unfortunately today, with the advancement of technology, with social media, with information at our fingertips at any point that we need, the advantage has been that there's been a lot of social issues that have been able to be brought to the forefront. It's allowed people to have a voice to express where there's been a problem in society. Not too long ago, we saw the scourge of child sexual abuse and the brave victims who came forward to speak about it. We've seen now recently in Australia with the women's marches, all the different issues that have been happening against women as well. And as I said, we now have it at our fingertips. But the issue is, and we did see it with child sexual abuse as well, why aren't these issues being solved so quickly? Why are they continuing to be perpetuated? And I think one of the reasons is that the people who are trying to give over the message, they're doing their very best to try and express what is going wrong. The issue is with the people who need to listen to the message. They're not actually taking the time to pay attention to the words, to the messages, to the change that the people are trying to express needs to happen. It's almost like we've got earplugs in our ears. We're not listening. We're not taking the opportunity to pay attention to the words that are being said. And instead, either ignoring it or coming to it from our perspective, how we think we should solve it, as opposed to saying, hold on a minute, let me just take a moment to reflect, to hear, to listen to what the person is saying, and then take what they're saying and use that to implement the change. We're about to celebrate Pesach. And of course, one of the villains in the story is Pharaoh. And Pharaoh, one of the great issues with Pharaoh, that he allowed the devastation to occur around him, that he allowed all this damage to happen to his people, is because he didn't listen. He didn't pay attention to what Moshe was telling him, and at some point he didn't pay attention to what his own people were telling him. It's almost like he blocked it out. He didn't want to listen to what they were saying, but instead it was all about how he felt he can solve the problem. He tried to sort of replicate what Moshe was doing, as opposed to listening to what the problem was in his country, in his society. And of course we know that didn't end very well with him. And so today, as we now get ready for Pesach, let us try and make this Pesach a practical one as well. Each of us, as we may hear of an issue in our lives, in our homes, in our society, make sure that you don't make the same mistake as Pharaoh. Make sure that you listen to what the people who are going through the trouble, who are going through the difficult experience, listen to what they're telling you. I think it has to come from a leadership perspective, from in our political world, in all the things that we face, each of us in that position to try and make a difference. Make sure that you open your ears. Don't leave those earplugs inside your ears. Make sure that you have that active listening. When it comes to psychology, they speak about this concept of actively listening to what the person who's talking is telling you. And please God, this Pesach, we're able to be redeemed just like our ancestors were from the troubles of Pharaoh, from the troubles of Egypt. We should be able to be redeemed from the troubles of society around us, to solve the social issues. But in order to do that, we need to make sure that we listen to the people who are telling us what they're going through. Wishing you and yours a Chag Pesach, Kasher v'Sameach, a healthy, happy, and beautiful Pesach ahead. All the best.